For centuries, the Sahara has been seen as silent, empty, lifeless at night. But satellites began noticing something they were never designed to explain. After midnight, beneath miles of sand, patterns started shifting and pulsing slowly. Not random movements, not natural seismic behavior, but deliberate directional motion. Nomads spoke of the ground breathing when the stars were highest. Scientists dismissed those warnings until thermal sensors recorded unexplained heat trails. Whatever is moving beneath the Sahara does not surface during the day. It waits for darkness when human activity fades and the desert listens. And why it only moves when no one is supposed to be watching. The Sahara Desert has always been associated with silence, heat, and endless emptiness. During the day, it appears lifeless, frozen beneath relentless sunlight and shifting sand. But at night, the desert becomes something entirely different. Temperatures fall rapidly, winds change direction, and the ground begins to cool. This is when unusual activity has reportedly been observed beneath the sand. Movements too slow for animals, yet too large to be natural geological shifts. Satellite sensors first detected these anomalies during nighttime thermal scans. Long, dark shapes appeared briefly, then vanished before sunrise. At first, analysts assumed these were temperature distortions caused by cooling dunes. But the patterns returned again, night after night, unchanged and consistent. The shapes moved horizontally, deep beneath the desert surface. Sand does not behave this way on its own. Ground-penetrating radar later confirmed something even more disturbing. Beneath several regions of the Sahara, vast hollow spaces were detected. Not caves formed by erosion, but elongated tunnels stretching for miles. Their walls appeared unusually smooth, as if shaped intentionally. No known natural process creates formations like these beneath desert sands. Even more troubling was their depth. Some tunnels lay hundreds of meters below the surface, far deeper than ancient human excavation methods could reach. And yet, something inside them appeared to move. Local nomadic tribes have spoken of the desert changing at night. Stories passed down through generations describe the sand shifting with purpose. Elders warned travelers never to camp in certain regions after sunset. They spoke of vibrations felt through the ground while sleeping. Low humming sounds, barely audible, but strong enough to unsettle animals, camels refusing to move. Dogs whining, staring into the darkness. Legends described massive beings traveling beneath the desert, unseen but felt. Not spirits, not ghosts, something physical, something alive. Modern researchers initially ignored these accounts as folklore. But when similar vibrations were recorded by seismic monitoring stations, attention shifted. The vibrations were rhythmic, repeating at nearly identical intervals. Not earthquakes. Not tectonic activity. Too controlled. Too precise. The Sahara is considered one of the most geologically stable regions on Earth. Movement of this nature should not be possible, and yet the data continued to accumulate. Thermal imaging revealed faint heat trails following the underground movements. The temperature difference was minimal, but detectable against the cold night sand. These trails vanished shortly before dawn, as if intentionally concealed. Whatever moved beneath the Sahara preferred darkness. Daylight brought stillness. Night brought motion. Historical records offer disturbing context. Ancient texts from North Africa describe wanderers beneath the dunes. Beings said to travel underground to avoid the burning sun. Some were described as guardians, others as punishments sent beneath the land. One manuscript warned of the night the desert wakes, a time when the ground itself would move. During World War II, military patrols reported unexplained ground tremors in the Sahara. Vehicles stalled without mechanical failure. Compass needles spun erratically during night operations. Some soldiers described hearing movement beneath their camps. Digging revealed nothing. By morning, the desert appeared untouched. Reports were filed, then quietly forgotten. In recent years, mining companies unknowingly drilled near these underground structures. Several operations were abruptly shut down after equipment failures. Drill heads crushed as if squeezed by immense pressure. Sensors recorded sudden movement deep below, followed by silence. No official explanation was ever released. One drilling team reported something far more unsettling. During a night operation, the ground began to vibrate gently, not violently, almost cautiously. The vibration increased when machinery remained active. When power was shut down, the movement slowed, as if whatever lay beneath was reacting to disturbance, observing, adjusting. The Sahara has not always been a desert. Thousands of years ago, it was lush and alive. Rivers flowed where dunes now stand. Civilizations thrived before the land dried and hardened. What if something adapted when the environment changed? What if retreating underground was not survival, but strategy? Sand is an excellent insulator. It hides heat, sound, and movement exceptionally well. A perfect cover for something that does not wish to be seen or disturbed. Scientists now believe the Sahara may conceal one of Earth's greatest unknowns, not buried ruins, not lost cities, but a vast, moving presence beneath the sand. Something ancient, something patient, something that only travels when the world above sleeps. Because at night, the Sahara is no longer silent. It is listening, and something beneath it is moving. As satellite technology improved, the Sahara began revealing patterns previously hidden from human observation. Advanced night vision satellites detected subtle ground shifts occurring only after complete darkness. These shifts were not random or caused by wind-driven sand movement. They followed defined paths beneath the desert surface. Almost like roots, thermal satellites recorded faint heat signatures traveling slowly beneath massive dune fields. The heat was not intense enough to indicate machinery or volcanic activity. It was steady, consistent, alive. Scientists monitoring these readings noticed something deeply unsettling. The movements slowed dramatically when satellites passed overhead, as if whatever lay beneath sensed observation, as if it understood when it was being watched. Ground-penetrating radar surveys later confirmed extensive tunnel networks beneath multiple Sahara regions. These tunnels were too uniform to be naturally formed. Their walls appeared smoothed, reinforced, and strangely curved, not straight like human-made tunnels, but organic, almost grown rather than built. Some tunnels widened into massive underground chambers, chambers large enough to contain entire city blocks. Yet, no debris, no collapse markers, no evidence of abandonment. These spaces were empty, waiting. Seismic sensors placed miles apart began detecting synchronized underground motion. Vibrations traveled through the desert floor like slow-moving waves, not destructive, controlled, measured. What frightened researchers most was the timing. The movement always began shortly after sunset and stopped precisely before dawn. Every time, no exceptions. This suggested awareness of surface conditions, an understanding of temperature, light, and possibly human activity. Something beneath the Sahara knew when to move and when to hide. Ancient desert maps reveal something modern technology only recently confirmed. Certain regions were intentionally avoided by early travelers and traders. Routes curved around invisible boundaries marked only by superstition and fear. These areas were described as hollow lands, places where the ground whispered at night. Rock carvings found near these regions depict massive, serpent-like shapes beneath the earth. Figures drawn, moving below humans, not above them. Some carvings show people standing still while the ground shifts underneath, a warning frozen in stone. One ancient inscription translated loosely into a chilling phrase: "The sleepers move when the sun abandons the sky." Modern excavation teams unknowingly disturbed one of these underground pathways. Within hours, ground sensors detected rapid movement deep below their site. The vibrations increased steadily, then abruptly stopped. The following morning, the excavation pit had partially collapsed, not downward, inward, as if pulled. Equipment left overnight was found displaced without tracks or signs of surface interference. Metal supports bent inward under pressure no natural sinkhole could explain. Soil samples showed compression from below, not above. The site was abandoned immediately. Official reports cited unstable ground conditions. No mention of movement. No mention of sounds. No mention of fear. Nighttime audio recordings from nearby research stations captured low-frequency hums. The sound resembled distant machinery, yet no machines were present. The frequency matched the seismic movement patterns almost perfectly. This was not coincidence. Animals reacted first. Desert wildlife avoided certain areas entirely after sunset. Burrowing animals sealed entrances and refused to emerge at night. Birds abandoned nesting sites without obvious environmental cause. Life sensed what technology struggled to understand. The Sahara is vast, but these movements are not everywhere. They are concentrated, focused, intentional, as if something beneath the desert follows specific routes, paths memorized over centuries. Why move now? This question unsettles researchers more than the movement itself. For thousands of years, the Sahara remained largely undisturbed. But recent decades brought drilling, mining, and military operations. Vibrations from heavy machinery travel deep underground, far deeper than humans realize. What if these disturbances are being noticed? What if the desert is responding? Historical climate data shows Sahara temperatures are rising faster than expected. Surface conditions are becoming increasingly unstable. Sandstorms grow stronger. Night temperatures fluctuate unpredictably. These changes may be forcing something below to adjust its behavior. Movement patterns have increased noticeably over the past 10 years. Longer routes, faster motion, shorter pauses. Something is changing. Some researchers quietly speculate about subterranean megafauna, life forms adapted to darkness, pressure, and isolation. Creatures that evolved beneath ancient riverbeds when the Sahara was green. As the desert formed, they retreated underground and stayed there. Sand would provide insulation, protection from predators, protection from climate extremes, protection from humanity. Until now, one classified report ended with a single, unsettling sentence. Continued disturbance may provoke defensive movement. The Sahara may not be empty beneath its dunes. It may be occupied, and whatever lives there appears increasingly restless, because night after night, the ground continues to move. Slowly, silently, deliberately, and something beneath the Sahara is no longer sleeping. The most troubling question remains unanswered by scientists monitoring the Sahara underground movement. What happens if these subterranean paths extend toward human-populated regions? Until recently, movement was confined to remote, uninhabited desert zones. But new data suggest those boundaries may be shifting, slowly, deliberately. Recent seismic maps reveal underground motion trending toward ancient trade routes, routes that once connected civilizations across North Africa. These paths were not random choices by early travelers. They followed stable ground, ground that felt safe beneath their feet. Now, that same ground is showing signs of internal disturbance. Minor vibrations detected beneath small desert settlements during nighttime hours. Too subtle to cause damage, but noticeable, unsettling. Residents in remote villages report unusual nighttime experiences. Low tremors felt through floors while sleeping. Drinking water rippling without wind or movement. Livestock becoming restless after sunset, refusing to settle, refusing to feed. Elders recognize these signs immediately. Stories once considered myths are being remembered with urgency. Warnings passed down for generations are resurfacing. The ground remembers, one elder reportedly said, and it does not forgive disturbance. Urban expansion into desert regions has increased rapidly over recent decades. Mining operations push deeper underground than ever before. Oil exploration sends shockwaves miles beneath the surface. Military testing introduces repeated low-frequency vibrations into the sand. All of it travels downward. All of it reaches something below. Seismic models suggest underground tunnels may be interconnected across vast distances, not isolated systems, but a network, a hidden infrastructure beneath the desert. Movement in one region may trigger responses elsewhere, like pressure traveling through arteries. This explains a disturbing pattern observed by analysts. When one area becomes active, another falls silent, as if movement is being redirected, managed, controlled. Nighttime satellite footage shows synchronized pauses in underground activity, almost like decision-making moments. Periods of stillness followed by rapid repositioning. Not panic. Strategy. Researchers now believe whatever moves beneath the Sahara is not blind. It is not wandering aimlessly. It follows rules, paths, limitations. One classified scenario explored a chilling possibility. What if surface infrastructure collapses into these underground corridors? What if cities unknowingly sit above weakened layers? Collapse would not be explosive. It would be silent, gradual, like being swallowed. Historical sinkholes across desert regions may offer clues. Some appeared overnight without warning or seismic explanation. Perfectly circular, smooth jid to clean. In several cases, Sinkholes appeared along ancient paths. Paths once avoided after dark. Paths associated with old warnings and rituals. Coincidence becomes difficult to accept. The Sahara is expanding. Desertification pushes human settlements closer to unstable regions. What was once distant is now nearby. The boundary between surface life and underground movement is thinning. Some scientists quietly propose abandoning further exploration entirely, not studying the movement, not provoking it, letting it remain undisturbed beneath the sand. Others argue understanding is the only defense. If movement patterns can be predicted, disasters may be avoided. But prediction requires observation, and observation invites attention. One final experiment attempted controlled vibration signaling underground. The goal was to observe reaction thresholds. The response was immediate. Movement accelerated. Sensors overloaded. Then everything stopped. For 6 nights afterward, no underground activity was recorded anywhere nearby. Complete silence. An absence more frightening than movement. On the 7th night, activity resumed far outside the original test zone, miles away, closer to civilization. This suggests relocation rather than retreat, avoidance rather than submission. Whatever exists beneath the Sahara adapts quickly, and it learns. Ancient civilizations vanished across North Africa without clear explanations. Some cities were abandoned suddenly without signs of war or famine. Historians blamed climate shifts. But what if something beneath forced migration? What if the ground itself became unsafe? Legends speak of the long night walk, a time when entire populations moved under moonlight. Modern humanity believes itself dominant over nature, but dominance assumes understanding, and the Sahara remains deeply misunderstood. Beneath the sand lies something vast, ancient, and responsive. It does not attack. It does not chase. It moves. And movement alone can reshape landscapes, histories, and civilizations. If underground activity continues increasing, consequences may become unavoidable. Not sudden destruction, but slow destabilization, invisible until too late. The Sahara appears calm by day, endless, still, silent, but at night, the desert changes, the ground shifts, paths awaken, and something beneath continues its ancient journey. Because the Sahara is not just a desert, it is a surface, and something below it is moving closer. The Sahara keeps its secrets buried, hidden beneath endless layers of sand. Every explanation raises more questions than it answers. Natural phenomena, ancient structures, or something humanity has yet to understand. The movement continues, slow and deliberate, refusing to reveal its true nature. Perhaps the desert remembers something we have forgotten. Or perhaps it is preparing to remind us. If you listen closely, even the quietest places are never truly silent. Subscribe and stay with us as we uncover what the world tries to ignore. Because some mysteries do not want to be found. They want to be felt.